Yeah, the main thing, honestly, Irate, and the way I learned blueprints, and the way I think a lot of people learn blueprints very well, is think of what, think of just a mechanic. Start off with a single mechanic and go, what do I want to do? And describe it. Like, let's say, I'm just going to do a kind of hacky example. We're going to pull up Notepad. So let's say you want to do a grappling hook, right? Well, what does a grappling hook do? Well, a grappling hook, grab another actor, and then you have, two options. Pull to actor, pull actor to player, right? So that this is what you want to do. So then you go, okay, well, how am I going to know which actor to grab? Well, you need to trace out to it, right? So you do, okay, so I want to do a line trace from player, but you want it to follow the camera. From player to camera, forward vector, that's important, to X units. So you do that, and you say, okay, so I want to do a line trace, let's say for, in this case, for channel. And your channel is visibility. So any actor that is visible, you line trace to it. And you want it to go X units away from wherever the player camera's forward vector is. So whichever way the camera is looking, and this isn't the exact math, I could show you that later. We actually have it set up in another, oh wait, I don't know if I still have that project. I might have to do it again. Okay, but let's say you have, so you want it to go, okay, the camera's looking here. I want the line trace to go there. Well, then you just do the math for it. You know, then you go, okay, well, what happens? Hit nothing, do nothing. Hit actor. Let's go with pull to actor. That's the one we want to do. Well, how do you do that? Well, you're affecting the player's movement. So look up movement. And then you just play with these. You go, okay, well, which one would work best? Do you want to launch the character? Do you want to simply set actor location? Do you want to teleport? Then you just go, okay, well, I need to get my actor location, and I'm trying to get the difference between my actor location and, oops, sorry. So my location minus actor location. And you do that over and over again until they're about equal. Like you just go. In this case, the way I would do it is gate timer 1 second, or probably timer 0.08 seconds. You don't want to do it on tick because then it's frame rate dependent. But that's a whole nother issue. And I can show you all of this later. I actually have a tutorial on it on Wiki, which pretty interesting. But this is kind of the general method. I mean, this is obviously a very bad example because it's kind of just you know describe it out, and then you actually go and look up the nodes that may help you do whatever you're looking for. Shoot projectile. Okay, I need to fire or I need a bullet. There's a projectile movement component, so maybe that'll be helpful. Spawn it at a location, heading in the and set the transform, and boom, you've got yourself a bullet. Like most of it's pretty. Once you start looking at it and looking, reasonably at what you can do with blueprints, it becomes a lot easier. Like in this case, or no, let's go with this case. So on this one, I wanted to do something when the actor is clicked, which is why I gave it this widget. That orange box is clickable. That's the whole point of it. All it does. When I click it, I allow this to go one time so it doesn't mess up anything. I check to see if the player controller is part of the cam view, which is the main view. If it is, we set that to a new variable. We set the original, we set this to another variable called the original cam. And then we set the new view target, which is the camera, to this camera. Take control of this camera, and we add this to viewport, which is our widget. So we just go, hey, put this in here. Then, when we want to stop, we set the new view target to the original camera. We unpossess this character and possess the original one, and we remove cam view from parent. That's really it. It's just talking it out. It's for me, it's more digestible than code because you can literally sit here and go, well, this is what I want to do. Let's sound it out in our heads. Okay, I want this widget here. I want to multiply the value of the slider by a length modifier to set the spring arm length, which is how we get our zoom effect. Let's see. Actually, the other project may be a bit better for explaining some of this stuff. Excuse me. And I know I probably sound really stupid right now, but this is dead serious. Like, this is how I learned. I sat here and I went down to whatever the bare minimum of what I needed for a specific function to work. And I thought to myself, well, what actually is going on when I do it? Not the math, not, whatever. What is actually going on when I want the character to grapple to this? Whoa, like, okay, it's a trace. Boom, that makes sense because you're wanting to say, hey, what is there? I want to move to it, so I set my actor location and I go, whoop, up, now I'm there. So that's really it. And if you make a mistake, good. Mistakes are good. Mistakes are how you learn. I probably sound like a crazy person. Excuse me. Sorry for coughing in your ear there. I've been coughing for like 2 weeks now. I probably should go to the hospital, but that requires me to go to a hospital. And that's just not going to happen. Let's see. Oh yeah, my teleport thing. That was fun. Barely works. I've got so much I have to fix in here. Good grief. Let's see. Let's see. There's a yes, there is, and James is right. There is a full sample for the road editor, which is different than the landscape splines. Um, oh, Sterling, it only took you 5 hours to find the shovel. I didn't know about that for like 6 months. When I found out there was a shuffle option, I nearly went insane. Or finding out that there's not a sort node for arrays. I actually came up with a method to sort actors by an integer variable in the index and sort it from like highest to lowest, and then reshuffle and or redo it until it finally got it perfect. And it was basically like sort down the array, sort up the array, sort down the array, sort up the array until everything lined up into place. And it took me 4.5 hours to set that up the first time, I think. And it would probably take me about as long again because I did that like a year ago. Ooh, something I can do to go ahead and help with this situation is pull up the wiki so I can give you if you want it, and it may be out of date. It may need some TLC. Let me go ahead and get over to the wiki and go grappling hook, just in case you want to work through. Yeah, here it is. Just in case you want to work through something and find out kind of how to. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, James. You're right there. It's really not that much when it's taking when you're taking time. Like 4.5 hours is really not bad, especially when you're in the zone. But here you go. This is my grappling hook tutorial. I wrote this about 2 years ago, so it may be out of date. I'm not gonna lie. But this was actually a really fun one that we did, and it works pretty darn well overall. And yeah, that's just kind of how I learned. Like, do tutorials, discuss with yourself what exactly you're looking at doing, and then just do it. I mean, hell, we made this AI last week, and I have no idea how to do AI. Okay. Anyways, I want to check and see if there's any other questions tonight. I am probably going to call it a night if not, so that I can get some stuff done, because I actually have some cool things that I want to work on that are not on the computer. I'm actually reading through the Cipher system, which is a. Oh, your question is above. Okay. Adam, I do have a question. With particle systems, you can access a parameter from a blueprint, but there doesn't seem to be an option for user control over a vector curve. Is there a way around this? Ooh, I don't think so. I mean, let's see. Let me create. I don't know if this is going to work. We're gonna find out. So I need a vector parameter or a vector curve for something. Let's do color over life. Need constant curve. I would want to say that if you have this, and let's create a new blueprint. I don't know exactly. I don't know much about particle systems, so this is going to be all very ad hoc and I hope it works. Particle system of new particle system. And let's get a reference to that and get set color. What about parameter? Dynamic parameter. From the material dynamic okay. I'm actually not sure you can access it. Let's see. Rendering.